Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here today with my Love After Lockup recap, Season 6, Episode 6, Quit Playing Games. We are over the halfway point of the season. After this one, there's only four more left. So, overall, I would compare this season of Love After Lockup to a bad Disney ride. It starts off fantastic. In the middle, you want to puke your brains out. Then you're having fun again. Then you want to puke again. Yeah, you guys get what I mean. So, if I was going to give this particular episode a grade, it would be a solid C. And I would give an F to JK and Bradley because they are way too comfortable with their mouths. I'm going to get into that in a second. And yeah, I think they need a good smack in the mouth. But overall, this episode, I would give it a C. So let's hop right into it. So first of all, we have Will and Courtney. Will reminds me of a serial killer. That's it. I'm just gonna put it out there. He reminds me of the dude that I watch a Dateline about. He's the all good looking American, has a great job. Everybody thinks he's a great guy, and then in all reality, he has a dungeon in his basement and he's a serial killer. That's who Will reminds me of. So we pick up where we left off last week. Will proposed to Courtney within like 30 minutes of her release in the rain in front of this big Christmas tree. Courtney's mom thinks it's a horrible idea, which it is, because these two don't even know each other. But hey, let's get married. So this week they arrive at the hotel. Courtney's like, wow, this is way better than my jail cell. Then she's like, I want to take a shower. Now, one thing I notice about this show is that 99% of the time, the female inmates will definitely take a shower before they hop into bed to do the deed, while the dudes, they don't give a fuck. They will hop into bed and do the deed, whether it's a bed that has bed rails and a porta potty in the corner. They don't give a shit. They'll do the deed without showering, like nasty, nasty, nasty. At least Courtney took a shower, got all cleaned. She had her pizza and then she had her penis. Okay. And she says Will is free K, and so is she. Now, Will said that they didn't even have a chance to use any of the toys that he brought. Remember, this dude came prepared. He has, uh, vibrational things and this Japanese soft rope to tie Courtney to the bed with. And he is like totally into tying Courtney to the bed, which I don't understand why you would think it's a good idea to tie your partner who just served a year in jail and was just released from jail to anything. But hey, that's on him. So, you know, they throw the camera crew out, they have their fun time, but Courtney needs to spend the night at the halfway house. And, Will is not crazy about this. This is, the area where Courtney has relapsed before. These are all, familiar environments, people, places, and things, which is not good. And they can't do anything about the interstate compact um, until maybe if they get married. They don't even know. That's the thing. They don't even know that if they get married, that her parole will approve her to move to Sacramento with him. But they're in the car, reminiscing how great the sex was. And she's like, I really wish I could just fall asleep naked next to you. This really sucks that I have to go to the halfway house. And she's like, so when do you think we can get married? Let me tell you, I don't think she expected the answer she got. He turned around and said, tomorrow. Why not? Let's just get out of the way and do it tomorrow. And she's like, okay, how would we pull this off? Well, I'll take you somewhere for you to get a dress. while I find somebody to marry us. I could check with the hotel to see if they have some type of conference room, venue, something that we could just throw it together, and at least we're married. And then maybe, the interstate compact will work and you could come to Sacramento. And she's like, my mom is still going to be here. She's only going to be here for one more day, even though she was acting kind of funny. Courtney, psst, come here, hon. She was acting kind of funny because she thinks this whole engagement's a really bad idea. Imagine when you tell her that you're now getting married. Like right now. Oh, she's not going to be happy. You think that expression on her face was bad at the proposal? Oh, no. So she's like, yeah, I think this will be a great idea. So they pull up to the halfway house. He parks in the mud. He gets out of the car, carries her to the door like she's Cinderella. And we shall see how these two shall continue. As we see in the preview at one point during the season, and mind you, we only have 4 more episodes left, so this makes me think this is in the real near future. He is yelling at her, I didn't sign up to take on a child wife. And she's like, then why did you accept somebody straight out of prison? Really good question for you, Will. Really good question. So we shall see. Now, moving on, Joey and Michael. Michael doesn't want to be saved. Michael just wants to have his freedom, have his cake, and eat it too. Okay. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be death or a really, really long jail sentence for him to fucking finally get it. Because he has been in and out of jail most of his adult life. He has just spent the last year in jail, and all he could think of is like trying to like get around things. Okay, first of all, Joey's annoying him. He feels like Joey's giving him a dad vibe, simply because Joey wants to keep tabs on him and make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. So we pick up where we left off last week. He was going to sign out at the halfway house and let them know that he was spending the night. Joey, sets up the hot tub for them. Michael gets in the hot tub. Michael was talking about how excited he was to be intimate. He really likes pleasing people. He's a top, all this stuff. Okay, he is so excited. And then guess what? The chemistry wasn't the same. You and I both knew that was going to happen. Okay? Because these two, the only time they have hooked up is when they were both fucked up on substances. And now that they're both sober, of course the chemistry is not going to be the same. So meanwhile, poor Joey's thinking, oh, we had such a great night. We laid in bed. We talked. We had some really cool conversations. Michael the next morning is like, this isn't good. I feel like Joey loves me a lot more than I love him. The sexual chemistry isn't there anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to concentrate on the errands that I have to do today because I'm kind of a day-to-day type person. And part of my parole conditions is to apply for food stamps and Medicaid. So he tells Joey he's going to go off and do what he has to do. Joey doesn't want to go with him. It's going to be really fucking boring. And he leaves the room. And guess what? And I swear, and I say, in my opinion, but you guys know that I'm right. He took the fucking phone on purpose. Michael takes Joey's phone. Okay? Now, if you ever have been in the position where you have misplaced your phone, you know how fucking frustrating that can be, right? When you're using somebody else's phone to call your phone because you misplaced it in your own house. Yeah, that's really fucking frustrating. Michael did it on purpose. He didn't want Joey calling him every 10 minutes like his dad. So he went and he took poor Joey's phone, Joey couldn't even go for his run, okay, because he didn't know where the fuck his phone was. And then Michael comes back like, oh yeah, well, I might have picked it up by accident, and I might have thought it was mine, and it could have been intentional, but it wasn't really intentional, and maybe. And Joey, instead of getting angry, is like, oh, it's okay. And then in his confessional, he gets angry. He gets angry at the producer. Yo, Joey, why are you getting that angry at the producer? Michael's the one that played you and took your phone for hours and made you think that you were losing your mind or you lost your phone. So he's like, I don't think he did it. And in my mind, if I don't think he did it, it didn't happen. And that's it. Even though it probably happened, in my mind, it didn't happen. Next question. Whoa. So, like I said, in my opinion, Michael doesn't want to be saved. Michael doesn't want to be sober. Okay. He's going to fall off really, really soon and he's going to break Joey's heart. So, there we go. Now, moving on. We have Brooklyn and Brian. Lordy, 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 lordy. Okay. I just want to say that even though I could slap the shit out of Brooklyn for moving this dude into her house with her young daughter, you don't know him. Okay. We have seen many datelines and 2020s with horror stories about men, moving in to a home with young girls, stepdaddy situations that we don't want to talk about. But in Brian's defense, he was so nice, so kind, so age appropriate, and compassionate with Brooklyn's little girl that I just wanted to reach to the TV and hug the both of them. So before Brian's bestie, Brooklyn's little daughter, comes home, he comes home to Brooklyn's house. Okay. He's finally out of the halfway house. He has permission to move in with Brooklyn and she takes him home. She's like a home sweet home. They had a wonderful night together. Then the next morning, she had to bring up the picture of the big booty bitch that was on the back of his tablet. She's like, look, there's no comparison. You should be having me on the back of your tablet. Like, what's up with this? Brian goes, he takes the picture. He goes, now can we stop talking about it? Okay, it was just some random bitch. Can we please stop talking about it? So he's like, I crumpled up and tore up the picture like that just to basically shut her up. But I know I'm going to hear about it 3 days from now. So he's having a welcome home barbecue. His family, her family. She's really nervous because he's going to meet her dad today. And her dad, she's daddy's little girl. And if they don't get along, it's going to be a big, huge problem. So they wake up the next morning. He tears up the picture. Then he's like, bestie's coming home. Brooklyn's daughter comes home and she jumps into his arms. She is so fucking happy to see him. And then Brooklyn's like, clean up your room before the party starts. So Brian goes with her to help her clean her room. And they're having this discussion that I was sitting there for the first time in a long time. I was like, this is so like pure. Okay. This little girl's like, so how is jail? And he says jail is a bad place. So what did you do that was so bad? And he said, I made a big mistake. What kind of mistake? I did bad things to people. What kind of bad things? Like this girl wasn't letting up. And he's like, I robbed people. You mean that you like rob a TV from a house or something like that? And he's like, yeah, something like that. We'll continue this conversation another time, I promise. And then they pinky promise on it. Okay. I think starting it off like that was such an age appropriate and compassionate way. Those are the only two those are the only two adjectives that I could find to really describe that whole scene. He didn't try to like over explain, he didn't try to under explain. It was just right. So kudos to you, Brian. I'm hoping that these two do work out, but I don't understand the fascination with these chicks and these men, as a matter of fact, of wanting to have babies straight out of prison. Brooklyn is drinking this like ovulation tea or something or another, and he's drinking the tea to increase their fertility chances. What? This man has been out of prison for what, 2.5 hours? Like, come on. Why are these women so insistent, and the men too, on having babies like the minute they walk out of prison? Give it a year or more. Just saying. Now, Savannah and Bradley, on the other hand, yeah, Savannah could be annoying. Trust me, she could be annoying. She could be a micromanager, and she could be bratty. Yeah, she can. But Bradley, dude, you are way too comfortable with calling her a stupid bitch. And what the fuck is that? You just jumping into the car. That is not your car, dude. Like Savannah said, that wasn't even her car. The car is in her mom's name. So we pick up where we left off last week. They're leaving the party and um they're in the cab on the way back, and Savannah's trying to explain to him about respect. That the fact that his family doesn't respect her really bothers her. Like when he was in jail, who was there looking out for him mentally and financially? Not his sisters. And the fact that his sister Caddy will never have any respect for her for no reason really bothers the fuck out of her. Bradley honestly couldn't give a shit. And he's like, let it go. I don't care. So the next morning, Bradley tells Savannah that his sister Alyssa, the one that she does get along with, set up an 8 a.m. dentist appointment for him because it's been like almost 3 years since he's seen a real dentist. His teeth has been really neglected. Prison dental fucking sucks. And Savannah looks at him and she's like, 8 a.m. and you're going to that other dentist 45 minutes away instead of the one that was closer that could have fit you in next month. Who's gonna take you there? Alyssa with no car? And he's like, I guess I didn't think that far. Well, dude, maybe you and Alyssa should have thought that far before automatically assuming that Savannah was gonna drop everything to take you to the dentist. And yeah, I get it. The other dentist didn't have an appointment until next month. You didn't say that you were in excruciating pain, and the way you were drinking the night before at your party didn't look like that you were. But just saying, you didn't express like, "Oh, Savannah, my fucking tooth is killing me. I need to go." So, is it her fault that you haven't seen a dentist for the past 3 years because you were in prison because of your fuck ups? Asking for myself. So he gets really, really mad at Savannah, calls her a fucking bitch, and jumps in the car and takes off. And like Savannah said, when she calls Alyssa to tell her, listen, you need to call your brother and knock some sense into him. Okay. Because not only uh, did he jump into a car that's not in my name, it's in my mother's name. And my mother hasn't hesitated to call the cops on me 3 times. Can you imagine what she's going to do when she finds out Bradley took the car? Alyssa calls Bradley, and he was on the phone with his friend, all complaining about how much of a pain in the ass Savannah is. My opinion, Savannah has a point. Where the fuck with your sisters and your family when you were in jail? Were they visiting you? Were they putting money on your books? Were they taking your phone calls? Asking for myself. But now that you're home and your sister is blatantly disrespecting her, you couldn't give a fuck. You're like, let it go, let it go, let it go. It doesn't work that way. She's right. There's something called respect. So Bradley better need to get that car back. Just saying. Now, fortunately, these two have broken up. Okay. Bradley's in a relationship with someone else, even though word on the street, he was caught on Grinder, but that's a whole nother story. But according to his Facebook, he is in a relationship with someone else. And Savannah is single. Single, single, single. So now moving on to another dude. And I like his mama. Okay. I really do like JK's mama. So I think JK's mama needs to backsmack him. Now, I'm not saying Brooke was in the right at all. In any of this drama, I'm not saying Brooke was in the right. But yo, JK's another one. Way too comfortable. He's been out of jail for what? 4 hours and calling Brooke a stupid fucking bitch? Yeah, even if she's acting like a stupid fucking bitch. Dude, honestly, during that car argument, that in the ride in the car, I was half expecting him to turn around and backsmack her. Okay? Yes, she was acting irrational. There was an hour left to his curfew. And she was like, I promised I was going to go see my boys. I promised my boys we were going to go see them. And when I make a promise to my boys, I keep the promise to my boys. And he's like, Brooke, I have an hour to get to my mama's or I'm going back to jail. I don't care. I kept the promise to my boys and we're going to go see my boys. And he is starting to freak out. You could see it in his eyes. He's starting to freak out. Okay. So she throws him out the car. And I'm like, girl. But she's so mad that she's seeing red. Because honestly, yeah, she's been patient all day. 4 hours outside of parole, sitting outside of Mimi's house while he's in there having a conversation. Visit with Mimi ran over. Her mom is calling her. Where the hell are you? Are you coming to see these boys? So she's like feeling the pressure. Then JK is feeling the pressure about getting home by curfew. His cousin is nowhere near to pick him up. He goes call his cousin. His cousin's like, sorry, dude, it'll take me a hot minute to get there myself. So anyway, he's like, we're gonna switch and I'm gonna drive. Dude, you don't even have a fucking driver's license. Okay, you've been out of jail for what? 4 hours? You guys know what I mean. It's been a day or so. But you don't even have a fucking driver's license. And you're ordering this girl out of her driver's seat. You snatch the keys out of the ignition as she's driving, orders her to get out of the fucking car so you can drive because she was driving too slow. Maybe she was going the speed limit, dickwad. Oh my God, he pissed me off so much. I understand that he was panicking and he wanted to get home for his curfew. But dude, like I said, I thought he was gonna backsmack her at one point. She may have been acting bitchy, irrational, and a little wackadoodleish during that moment, but she did not deserve the way he was acting, okay? And he is way too free to call her a fucking bitch and to call her names. And they've been together for 24 hours in person. Imagine being with this man for years. Imagine having a baby with this man, which gets me back to my other point. What the fuck is up with these chicks and dudes? Because JK ain't no better. He wants to have a baby too. That want to have a baby straight out of prison. What in the fuck is up with that? Can someone please explain this to me? I don't get it. So, anyway, Brooke, they finally pull up to Mama's house. Mama pulls up. She's like, what's going on? JK's like, this stupid bitch try to make me late for my curfew. Mama's like, I taught you better than to talk to a woman like that. A mama should have smacked him right there. So he goes in the house. Brooke goes in the house. They get into this whole thing. Brooke is like, fuck this, I'm leaving. She goes to leave, and JK goes after her. And he's like, what about my party tomorrow? Please, don't do this. I love you. Why didn't she leave? I don't know. I would have fucking left if I was her. So the next day is his welcome home party. The one that he's worried that his ex Alex is gonna roll up on. Yeah, that one. So you know, uh, JK's mama expresses to Brooke that maybe she shouldn't make promises that she can't keep. As much as I say, I love JK's mama, I feel that she also enables her boy just a wee bit. Okay? So Brooke is like, I make promises, I'm going to keep them, blah, blah, blah. So Brooke is like, maybe she needs to stay out of our business. And I kind of agree with her. So now it's the next day. It's the welcome home party. And we get to meet another cousin. Okay. So Brooke has a conversation with JK's stepdad that really opens up her eyes. Okay. JK's stepdad basically tells her, if you think you're going to have a child with this man now, you have done lost your mind. And let's put it this way, he has had more girlfriends in jail than I've had my whole life. And you are the latest in a long line. And that just like hit Brooke. Okay. Brooke is like, wait a minute. I thought I was something special. And now it turns out that I'm the latest in a long line of chicks. The only other bitch I knew about was Alex. So JK's stepdad just got him busted. So she goes storming over where he's standing there having a conversation with his cousin. And she's like, could I see your phone, please? And JK's like, yeah, here, sure, why not? That's kind of weird. She goes back to that nasty bedroom where she had sex with him in. The one that has the porta potty in the corner and the wheelchair and the bed rails. Yeah, that one. So she sits on that bed and she's going to the phone and she's like, I'm going to block this random bitch and I'm going to block this random bitch. And oh, look at this. He's following Alex on Facebook. Well, I'm going to block Alex because there's no need for him to be following her. Once a hoe, always a hoe. So she comes out, she hands him back his phone, and she's like, you want to tell me about all the random bitches on your phone? And his cousin is standing there looking from JK to Brooke. JK to Brooke. He's like, I'm gonna let you guys be. Mind you, while Brooke was inside going through his phone, did I mention that JK borrowed his cousin's phone to call Alex again just to make sure that she doesn't roll up, because there's going to be major drama if she does roll up. And we're going to rendezvous, honey. Don't you worry, honey. We're going to rendezvous. Be patient. I'll hit you up. Just please don't show up here. I don't want no drama on my mamas. So Brooke practically throws the phone at him, says, you can have them hoes, and leaves. And I hope that she's leaving for good. Okay? Now, you guys keep your notifications on. I may or may not have an interview coming up soon with Brooke. So keep your notifications on. Now, Brooke, thank goodness, is single, according to her Facebook. And so is JK. So now moving on to the final. Ugh. Okay. Love triangle. Alexis, Julius, and Ashley. So now where we left off last week, he was currently stomping all over Ashley's heart into pieces. Ashley is sobbing in the hallway. Julius leaves. He's like, oh, well, it's just another day being Julius. She got the wrong idea. She don't look like her pictures. Blah, 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 blah. So he goes and he takes off. Ashley's like, I need motherfucking alcohol. And I don't blame her. Alexis is sitting at home. She got a weird feeling. She got a weird feeling and she thinks it's another bitch and she's going to confront him about it. He comes home. Where have you been? Oh, just chilling with Tyler. We were just chilling and smoking. And she's side eyeing him like, you are full of shit. A woman's intuition? You cannot fool a woman's intuition. She knew something was up. So she's side eyeing him. But before he got home. And now this was a term that I did not know was used for this. It took me a minute to realize what the fuck they were talking about. So Alexis's friend asked her if Julius shot up the club. And I was like, what? Julius shot up a club? Oh my goodness, why isn't he in jail? And then I realized, yeah, they were talking about it in a sexual manner. And I was like, oh my God, how fucking gross. So basically, she allowed Julius to dump a load in her. Okay? I guess this younger generation calls it shooting up the club. I got concerned for a second. I thought Julius actually got into a shooting in a club. Okay? I was like, oh my goodness. So, anyway, um, the next day, he checks in with his PO. Alexis is annoyed AF. Meanwhile, Ashley is blowing him the fuck up. Ashley's like, I'm gonna fucking blow your spot, motherfucker. You were gonna regret the day you met me. Blah, 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 blah. She is fucking pissed, and I don't blame her. So now Julius is like, I never told her to get the tattoo. I never told her to do anything. She got the wrong idea. I know you guys are going to misconstrue it. Yeah, you heard me right. He said misconstrue it. I had to rewind it like 3 times to get what he was saying. Not misconstrue, misconstrue it. Okay, Julius. So anyway, dude, um, him and Alexis go out on their first real date. And they go to one of those cafes where you could play board games. And he's like, I don't want to play Uno or any of that shit because that's all we did in jail. Let's play Connect 4. Yeah, because that's like down to his grade level. Okay, it's Connect 4. So Alexis is like, I'm just going to ask him, dude, is there anybody else? Is it just me? You better tell me the truth. Well, if I'm going to be honest, yeah, there kind of is. And Alexis gets up and storms out, crying and heartbroken. And that's where the episode ended. So, Julius, in my opinion, is no fucking prize. Okay. I'm actually sad for Alexis that she wound up with him and having his baby because, like I said, this dude is no prize. And I'm actually really happy that Ashley decided to not only cover up that tattoo, okay, but move on properly and find true love in her life. If you haven't checked out my interview with Ashley, please do. So that's basically all that I have for a recap right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit that like button, share my video with a friend or 10, and please consider joining my membership. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye, everybody.